there's another series in the air, in the development, in the fucking air. Anyway, I meant it. If you watched my story last night on Instagram, I meant what I fucking said, okay? Tea time. Talking about the real shit, okay? Now, I do plan to make this a series of sorts. I may not be able to post it on Instagram simply for the fact of time, because you can never, when it comes to healing and stuff like that. Sorry, my eyeshadow looks weird right now. Anyway, just did a live for like teaching and stuff. I love my job. So this series, I'm sure if you're anything like me, you have 20 million journals. Even if you have just, it is tea time, spiral notebook laying somewhere. This is a really old one that I found today. Mind you, my writing's a lot better these days, but still, that, I just love it. And I'm just like, okay, all right. You know, this is my life, you guys. It's like Christmas every fucking day. Because I was trying to find books, because I also teach adults as well. And so I did this new lesson called Story Time. And I offered to read chapter books and whatnot to my older students, and not just like my younger students. So anyway, found this journal. It's perfect. Get yourself a piece of paper today, a journal or something. If you don't want to have a journal, that's fine. This is kind of like a free series for us to kind of, I'd like to do it weekly. I might have to do it bi-weekly. It depends. Where we get to thinking about certain things, certain subjects. And what brought this on was, if you saw my story last night on Instagram, and I'll start getting used to like getting on, I just made a Snapchat. I'll leave it in the link below. So with this, I spoke of, I was very passionately, to say right off the bat, I'm not, I need more yogi tea. I'm not a person that, despite how I come across on Instagram especially, a lot of people could see me as super like serious all the time, and I'm really, really not. It's actually harder for me to be like I am, like I'm very pretty much vulnerable on Instagram, and I will be here in these videos, and that's easy for me because this is how I create. You know, it's an art form. That's why I paint. That's why I do the things I do. And so it's easy for me. But in real life, I'm a lot more chill, and I don't really, I get passionate. I mean, like, anyway, it's just one of those things where not a whole lot stirs me up. Does that make sense? I may react kind of dramatically and for, in the sense of like for comedic reasons, crack jokes. I do a lot more with people. But there is something that really got to me in this, for this tea time. Mainly, not only because of my own personal, you know, with it. This is a casual thing, so I think like she's right outside my door. Are you coming in? I'm recording, but you're more than welcome. Tabby's here. So she's just sitting out in her car, and I don't know how long this is gonna last. So for this tea time, what I really want to speak about is giving our personal power away. And the reason why this inspired me, if you don't follow her on Instagram, she's not everyone's cup of tea, I'm sure, but the Trap Witch, she's awesome. She has a YouTube. She's great. I watched her recent Taurus, full moon in Taurus reading, kind of like chat sort of thing, and it was beautiful. And it definitely got me thinking about giving our power away. So that is something I do want to touch on today, and she's coming in, so I may. But this is something that we do every single day. Hey, love. If you want to wait in there, you can. Just get comfortable.
Okay,
You're fine. I already warned them that you were coming in.
There on the thing, I was like, are you having a bad day?
What?
Sounded kind of aggressive there.
Oh, no.
I was like, are you having a bad day?
Did I sound, I'm sorry.
You sounded aggressive. I was like, I don't know if I want to go in.
Oh, no. Sad. I'm sorry.
Like, are you okay?
It's probably because I'm getting passionate about what I'm talking about. Oh, no. We do get aggressive, don't we, when we talk about this shit. Anyway. People are afraid of me when they think I'm mad. I'm like, I really don't get angry. I don't get angry often at all. But I'm about to play that back. Anyway, we give our personal power away, and it's something that we do every single day. And the reason that, mind you, yes, the video and stuff, but this is something that I was experiencing. I'm just going to start with my personal kind of like shit. I, even to this day, give my power away and not even realize it. In the past, I was very prone to putting my worth into what I did, into other people, and into, the expectations of like my family, my friends. Everything outside of me was going to tell me what I was worth. I had absolutely zero experience in validating myself. Now, I see a lot of people doing this in many ways. I don't know what I am half the time, because I was a codependent personality. I really was. And in our society, it's hard not to be. People jumping from relationships to relationships, not even healing and licking the wounds in enough time, learning to be alone before they bounce to another person, or, you put all of your identity into college and the job that you believe is your dream, into finding a mate, getting married, having kids. And these things aren't bad. They're not. They're wonderful. They're beautiful life experiences. But I feel like it's more of an expectation than a blessing these days. It's not something that where it comes from, hey, I truly want to find somebody, have kids, live my life, and that's what I want because it's what I want. We do it because it's expected of us most of the time. Same with going to college, same with getting a good job. No one really focuses on happiness anymore. It's more coming into today, but even in the sense of like how you look. I'm not the smallest, and I'm fat. All right. And please don't leave in the comments below like, you're not fat. It's not a bad word to me. Okay. I just realized my septum isn't in. It's not a bad word to me. It's just like, hi, how are you? Like, this is a part of me. I'm a vegetarian. I want to go vegan. I was vegan for a year. I try to put good things into my body. It doesn't always work out, but I love food. Oh, I love food. And, but it's those things, like my weight at one time was the way I felt validated. My whole life I've been this bigger girl, and there was always negative, connotations with it. There's always There's always negative things to say about it. Mind you, I'm not saying that you are the healthiest at a certain weight or whatever. I've seen skinny people be super sick and their immune systems are shit. And then I've seen people bigger than me that just never get sick and just kind of, but you know, the bottom line is, instead of just telling those people who are for some reason worried about what I looked like and my health, it's like, it's none of your fucking business. And if you're out there and wondering why are they this, and this, it's like, no offense, it's none of your fucking business. Okay? And if people are picking on you for certain things, whether it's your looks, what you believe, your job, whatever, it's none of their fucking business. Your happiness is your responsibility. Your happiness is here and now. And that's something, and your self-worth is something that you have to be, you know, solid in. Your confidence. You know, you don't have to take it to a high level of narcissism, but you do have to have a level of self-worth. You know, and we just are so okay. It blows my mind how I feel like I'm going to be Bo Burnham for a moment, because I'm just going to like have my notes out and it's going to be on like, ooh, a feather. It's going to be on like a blank page and I'm just going to be like, you know, is it whatever. Anyway, so we do this in so many ways. It's crazy. I knew a girl. I worked with her for a short amount of time, and she was completely okay with being disrespected. It was her job, even though she wasn't even getting paid a whole lot. You know, she thought it was completely acceptable for someone to curse at her, spit in her face. She had zero respect for herself. You know, very codependent. I've, you know, that's a whole other tea talk for another day, codependency. Ooh, and I speak from a place of experience. But the whole self-worth thing, I'm making a circle here. We let people rule our lives. We do. We miss out on opportunities to move somewhere great. We miss out on opportunities to be with great people. We miss out on opportunities to have that fulfilling job, even if it doesn't make sense to everybody else that we may love and respect. Be careful where you put your love and respect, first off. But if we're not careful about that, then we're gonna get lost, and we're gonna get lost in the hype of everything going on around us that we feel we should be doing and not exactly what we really want to do. My dad hates that I have piercings. My dad hates that I have tattoos. I have 3. I want to change the one back here, but whatever. It's huge. And I'd like to get more. My father doesn't particularly like the fact that I'm not a Christian anymore. I'm still a daddy's girl. And I had to have a sit down with him, because I learned that I can't have his views rule my life, because they're not mine. And the reason why I wanted to use myself as an example is because I don't know what you're going through. Okay? I don't know what you're going through. You know? I don't know what you hide about yourself to make others comfortable. But stop living to make other people comfortable. Let me tell you how I have come into, I'm not fully there yet. You know what I mean? In terms of everywhere I want to be. All right? I do have a fulfilling life. I realize fulfillment starts with me. It starts right here, right now. I can't wait for certain things to line up, for a certain person to come in, for a certain job to happen, for a certain whatever, to travel the world. I can't wait for that to be fulfilled. If I'm going to attract those things into my life, I have to know my worth, stop living through the eyes of other people, and live in that fulfillment. to the best of my ability right now. And we can't do that if we give our power away. Now, how do we get our power back after we give it away, even in just a moment? How do we catch ourselves? I'm going to use a classic example because this is something, all we want is love. Like, all you need is love. You also need to pay bills, but that's just the logical side of me coming out. Sorry. That was really, whatever. This is a tea talk. The most classic example I can use, and I used this during my story last night, is that when, for example, we are dating somebody, whether we're in an in-depth relationship, or we are just starting to date them, or maybe we haven't even dated them yet. Maybe we have a little crush. Whatever the case may be, most of the time we wonder if they like us. We do everything we can to kind of get their attention, which isn't, fair enough. It's when you start to change yourself and do certain things to make them like you, whether you're consciously doing it or subconsciously doing it. It's when you're always wondering if they like you and what parts of you are unlovable. Do you see the rabbit hole I'm diving into right now? You're giving your power away. So using this example, what is an example, using this one, that we can kind of turn it around? Of course, you could think the obvious. You could be like, oh, well, do I like him? That's a good start. Or do I like her? That's a good start. Or these certain qualities kind of don't vibe with me, so I might have to look. That's a good start. But what I'm really getting at is maybe you should ask yourself, why do I feel inadequate? Same can go for a job. You might not get picked for that job for a variety of reasons. They could be interviewing 100 people and they're just like, oh, I'm tired. I'm so tired of interviewing people. Yes, you're in. Person number 96. I choose you. The other 4 didn't show up and I didn't have a Pokeball. Same can go for the other situation, by the way. Anyway, so we always wonder at this point, we're taught to kind of think, how am I inadequate? And we start to make lists in our head. Oh, I'm not qualified. How are you not qualified? You're like, oh, I'm just not, I have an associate's or I don't even have a degree. You say, oh, my hair is shit. I'm a little heavy. Or maybe it's even deeper than that. Maybe you feel inadequate because this person, it's like, wow, they're really smart or they're really, sociable. And I'm just kind of like not. Who says that? You're saying that about yourself. You're making lists in your head about why you are inadequate for another person, for a situation, and that is giving away your power. We're going to take it one step further. Holding on to the past. It's getting real now. Shit's getting real. Holding on to the past is giving away your power. We cannot help what people have done to us. We cannot help the events that have followed us in life. Sometimes we are accountable. And it's in those times we have to learn to forgive ourselves. Holding on to the past is going to keep the moment, not just the future, the moment away from you. There is a time to reflect on the past. I'm not going to say that it's completely shit. Don't even, because there are lessons that we do have to refer back to sometimes. However, there is a time and place to do that and do it consciously rather than just like you're just kind of like reading a paper or you're writing something down for whatever, and then all of a sudden the thought comes into your head about your past. Don't let the past steal the moment away from you. And that brings us to the future. Don't give your power away to the attachments you have to the outcomes that you have created in your head. The future hasn't happened yet. The past is already gone, but the future has not happened yet. And when we make attachments, it's okay to make plans. But you have to be flexible. You have to flow. You have to go with the current, so to speak. And we forget that a lot of times. We're like, I'm going to be right here in this moment, the end. No. And there are certain things that we shouldn't, I guess you could say, give into temptations where we know it's kind of toxic, or we do have to stand our grounds in some moments, and I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ego and the attachment to a certain outcome based on what you're doing right now, instead of going with the flow and being like, you know what? This wonderful thing is coming into my life. This opportunity is coming into my life, and I might have to make some serious changes. And I'm going to be okay with that. I'm going to make peace with that. I'm going to make peace with change. I'm going to be flexible. It may not take away from what I ultimately am trying to do, but I notice and I recognize that things can change. Plans can be broken, but can be broken in the best way. These are just a few ways we give our power away. And another way, and I don't know, this might be the last thing I mention, is giving our power away to people. Can you hear my cat? My poor cat. She thinks I've died. You know, the energies right now are super heavy. They're very heavy, and that's to say it lightly. I know I've been feeling it. Oh, it's been heavy. If you're sensitive to it, it's heavy. You can pull a card and be positive all you want. You're like, man, these growing pains. I'm feeling it. Giving your power away to people, especially people of your past, the idea of the people that are in your life for the future, that's giving your power away. And it's like I said before, we cannot help what people do to us. That is their free will. It is up to us to do our own healing. Oh, but Leah, like, you don't understand my situation. Trust me. I'm sure I can only imagine what you went through. And I can only empathize with what you truly felt in what you went through with a particular person. But regardless, you can't give more of your power away to a person who already has hurt you. The way you're going to take back your life and take back yourself and your personal power is to forgive them. You don't have to forget. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. And start your healing process without an apology. Without them coming back into your life. And don't wear your pain as a badge. Ladies, I'm speaking to you. Ladies who have put up with bullshit for way longer than they should have, that is not an award to wear on your sleeves. That is not a pin saying, I put up with X, Y, and Z's bullshit for the longest. Woo me. No, quit that shit. I was there once. And even guys, I've seen guys do the same. Allowing people to hurt you for as long as they possibly can get away with it is a toxic ideal that is overly romanticized. I just want to live knowing I did everything I could. Doing everything you could is loving them up into the moment that they had decided to hurt. They decided to hurt you. Whether it be in the physical, mental, emotional sense. Cheat on you if you're in a monogamous relationship. That is the moment where you've done all you could to be who you needed to be for them. And their actions are a reflection on who they are. That's not a reason for you to stay. And that's not something to be proud of and continue the cycle of. I felt like someone needed to hear that. Also, be the person to choose your partner. Also, and the people in your life, your friends, even your family. Listen, I am a huge family person. I moved back to where I'm at now to be closer to my family. I love my family. Like, that's a very small word to express what I feel for them. But you also have to learn. I didn't speak to my biological mom for almost 8 years until this year, when I knew I was ready. You have a choice. And the reason, and it's also Venus retrograde, and that's probably why I'm touching on relationships a lot more, because we're all kind of like, thinking about it. But also with anything else in your life, don't put that in another person's hands. I love what I heard last night in the video, and I'll probably end this on this note. Do not decrease yourself in quantity, but increase yourself in quality. What does that mean? That means don't wear yourself out. A part of loving yourself is not killing yourself with work, killing yourself trying to hustle, being just worn to your core for people. Loving yourself is about understanding I have certain things I have to respect about myself and love myself, and I'm going to stick to it. And when I do things, like for example, me doing these videos, I'll probably cringe at this in the future, but whatever. When we do that, when we increase quality of life over quantity of things we feel we should do in life, is when we truly start to see change. Almost done with my tea. Understand your worth. Now, I wasn't planning to do a reading. This was actually here for that's scary. I don't want to think about what I just saw. Nope. There are certain things we probably should avoid. You don't want to know either. Trust me. I'm just going to pull a card to close this out because it's pretty long. So obviously this isn't going on Instagram. I want you to think this week about, or how have you given your power away? In what ways, too many, have you given your power away? Don't wait for someone else to bring healing to you. That's what I'm hearing. Don't wait for that apology. Don't wait for that opportunity. Don't wait. Find the balance in what actions you need to take to change your life. Manifest who you want to be in this reality and who you'd want in this reality with you. In what ways? I'm going to make this specific, okay? So if you do want to do a journal for this series, the first thing I would like you to reflect on this week is in what ways that you are aware of have you given your power away and brought that into today. And throughout the week, kind of keep your eye out, like peeled for ways that you give your power away. Because you will feel it. It does not feel good. Anxiety, worry, you name it. Listen, I'm a walking anxiety attack. I'm not going to pretend like I got this down. Okay. So I said I was going to pull one card. I lied. I didn't promise anything. So this week, doing that practice is going to move you forward in a way. It may not feel really, really quick at first, but when you're planting seeds, sometimes you're going to be launched forward in a way you never thought possible. And it is going to bring all kinds of blessings. I feel like the blessings are already here. It's opening yourself to it and letting the floodgates kind of just be like, bitch, give me my blessings. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is one way we can do that. Taking back our personal power. Yeah. Face your shadow side. Go back into yourself and do these exercises. Write them down. Leave in the comments what you find. I'm working on my website right now. So there could be a forum for it. Yeah. You're going to figure this out alone. Okay, my loves. Remember, journal. In what ways have you given your power away? Like what behaviors you might need to change. And come back next week. I will find a day to do these regularly. But sorry about that beginning there. If I sounded vicious, I am not always like that. It's weird catching me in the middle of like a passionate moment. I feel like I'm a bit, like I don't mean to be a bitch. But I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, I'm working on my website right now. I hope you enjoyed this tea time. I hope it gave you some insight. No. Fuck you. I'll get it later. So anyway, my tea's gone. As you can see, this was in a Stranger Things mug. I love that show. I don't watch a whole lot of TV shows. I mainly watch documentaries, but love this shit. And I watch a lot of YouTube, obviously. Well, that was our first tea time. I'm out. So much love to you guys. If you need me for anything, message me on Instagram. If, you know, I'll go over all the mumbo jumbo tomorrow. So other than that, love you guys, and I will see you next week, hopefully. Bye.